Hi, I'm Barb Denny, a designer on the VA design system team, and I'm going to make a video to show you how you can make changes to the doc site by pulling down or creating a branch locally and making your changes and then pushing those changes back to GitHub. So the way I do it is I use two tools. You can use GitHub Desktop to interface with GitHub. So it's kind of like a way of creating a uh, user interface for Git so that you don't have to be like completely familiar with all the Git commands to understand what you're doing. And then also to connect to the code, you need a code editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code, but you could connect whatever code editor that you prefer. So let's get started. The first thing that you would want to do is create a branch. I have this ticket to add the filter icon to the doc site. So I was going to use this as an example to show you how the complete process would work. So I'm going to create a branch in GitHub Desktop here. Right now it's on a different branch. So I was using a previous branch before, and now I want to make a new branch. So you open this drop down and you press the new branch button, and you want to branch it off of main. And you can name it whatever you want. I usually put the ticket number first and then add a filter icon documentation. Filter icon. That's probably good enough. And then you create your branch. So now you can see that we're on this different branch, and then you can make edits. So a little background on this too is GitHub takes a little bit to set up. You have to go to your settings and you have to connect to your GitHub repo and make sure you have edit access to that doc site to make changes. So there's some settings that you'll have to configure to get everything running. So once you've made your branch, you can press this button that says open in Visual Studio Code, and that will open Visual Studio. Okay, so now you can see Visual Studio Code is open, and you can see in the directory that this is the same doc site like folder structure that you would see if you were trying to make a edit directly on GitHub. The benefits of making those changes locally is that you can bundle changes. So maybe you have to add an image or a screenshot, and you also have to change a page on one place and then a change in another one. You can bundle this together and then push the changes up as one PR versus if you tried to do that all through GitHub, you would have to make like 3 PRs because GitHub on the website doesn't allow you to like bundle changes. So this is a reason you'd want to do all this locally. So we have a icons data folder that I'm going to do, and I'll just pause this while I make these changes and come back to this. Okay, so I was able to make the changes to add the filter icon. You can see here in Visual Code that I added a filter icon here and then another one that says list filter. And if you look at GitHub Desktop, you can see those changes in the code as well. And then I left it asked for a description when you're doing commits. So I left the this description or title the same and then added a more descriptive uh, description of what I did here. So then once you do that, you have to commit your changes, and your commits are only local. So if I'm remembering right, so once you commit that, you have to then push those changes up to GitHub. So you can do multiple commits locally, and then all those commits are bundled together and pushed up to GitHub once you press publish branch. So it says this branch hasn't been published to the remote yet. By publishing and share it, open up pull requests and collaborate with others. So we're going to do that now. Okay, it says preview the pull request from your current branch. So this is already published in GitHub. Preview the changes this pull request will have before proposing your changes. So this is just saying that you can preview this. I don't think I ever used this button. Yeah, let me pause this real quick and figure out what to do next. Okay, so yeah, I was looking at the button options here, and yeah, this doesn't really isn't really the next step that I would take here. So if you do press this blue button, it would create this modal, and it shows you like kind of an overview of your changes. If there was like multiple files, it would show a list of all the files. So we don't want to create a pull request just yet. We want to go and preview our changes. So what you would want to do is press this view on GitHub button. And then you see that you have this new published branch here. So you can click on, let's see, I think you can click on this button. Yeah. And you can open up a pull request, and this will start the preview environment. So then you can see what you're doing. But it's kind of tricky because right now you don't want to create a pull request and get other people to look at your pull request yet. You want to preview your pull request, make sure everything's right, and then alert other people. So to do that, you have to go down here and use this green drop down to create a draft pull request. And this won't request any code owners to review your code yet because you want to look at everything. So it pulled in the title, it pulled in the description from your GitHub desktop, and now yeah, you can create your pull request. I usually just assign myself to it and then press the button. All right, so we have a pull request now, a draft pull request. I don't see where it indicates that it's draft. Oh, dang. So I might have not pressed that drop down. Okay, yeah, I messed up and just pressed the green button without changing it to draft. So you can go back over here and convert to draft, and that will fix that issue. So now we're back in draft status. It looks like it'll keep the reviewers on there. That should be fine. But you might want to take that off maybe if it's going to be a long time before you need people to look at your PR. So we're waiting for this to build, and then it's going to create a button where we can preview the changes in a live version of the doc site. I'm going to pause right here and wait for that to finish. Great, so it finished doing all of its checks down here and they all passed. And now you can see a button here that says View Deployment. So if you click on that, I usually right click and open in a new window so you don't lose your PR here. And you can see that it creates a static link here that you could share with anybody else if you wanted to get other eyes on it before you actually do an official review. We're going to go and look on the foundation page and find the icon section and see if our new icons have been added. So we scroll down to the interaction area and we see filter alt, filter the description, list filter. I'm going to verify that that matches what's in Figma. So we have filter alt, filter list, filter, okay. So this looks great. I think we're ready to view, and just so you can see the difference. So this is the preview environment. You go here and this is the live production doc site, and we go to icons and scroll down to interaction. And yeah, interaction, and you'll see that these icons are missing. So it's kind of, it shows you that this is in the preview environment. Okay, so we're ready to wrap up this PR and submit it for review. So let me see. I think we do this. This pull request is the draft pull request cannot be. So yeah, now we want to take it out of draft review. What is it doing? Hold on. Okay, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I pressed that button and it finally went back into undraft, and like an undraft PR. So you can tell by this link that says convert to draft came back. So there might be another way to tell, but I can't. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna add people that I think should be added for review. This might change depending on what review you're requesting. Dan Brady is the other designer on the team, so he can review the changes and approve the PR. So I'm just going to wait now to for him to approve the changes, and hopefully that's it. So that's how you would pull down the changes locally and use GitHub Desktop and Visual Code Editor to make changes. Thank you.